fantastic news. More applications. Let's continue. Rectangular picture frame is measures 25 centimeters by 40 centimeters. New frame is made by increasing each side length by the same amount. Total resulting enclosed area is to be 1504 centimeters cubed. Find the dimensions of the new picture frame. Now this whole type of question is really weird because here's our original picture. 25 by 40. Now if we were to take this apart, we wouldn't add pieces on both sides. So we wouldn't actually rip this out and make it like that. But that is what the question is telling us. So somebody has way too much time on their hand, or the design of this frame needs to stay in the center, needs to stay in the center, this part needs to stay in the center of the width, needs to stay in the center of the width. So they're going to be adding this much to each side, and that same amount to each top and bottom. So really, we're doing that again. And now because of that, we need a let statement. Let's let x increasing side by the same amount be the amount each side is increased by. Which means our new dimensions for our new frame will be 40 plus 2 x's, and our new height or depth of our frame is going to be 25 plus 2 x's. And that entire area, it tells us, different color here, total resulting. So the n is going to be, so that total area is going to be 1504. So we know that area. We also know that area is length times width. So let's sub in what we know. 1504 is going to equal our new length times our new width. Binomial times binomial. FOIL. Collect like terms. At the same time, I'm going to rearrange to put my largest degree first. 4x squared. Collect those like terms. Okay, I need to find x. So once again, I'm going to factor. First step, always, always, always. Is there a common factor? Well, ends in 4, ends in 4, ends in 0, so potentially 4. If you're not sure, check. 130 divided by 4 is, ooh, decimals. 32.5. Well, they're all even, so we can at least take out 2. Factor out common factor of 2. Now, because there's still a coefficient in front of x, we're going to take a little bit more work. Remember, I need two numbers that are going to add to 65, but they're going to multiply to 2 times negative 252. Work through it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, and you get 72 and 7. Multiply the 504 plus and minus. There we go. Remember that because the coefficient is actually 2 here, we're going to have to work by decomposition. So I'm going to have 2x squared. That's going to become 72x minus 7x. That's 65x. Breaks down. If I just look there, I think about how I'm going to do this. Common factor there, 2, and x, which leaves x plus 36. But here I'm looking for a common factor. Well, there's a negative, so I'm going to take out a negative. I check the 252 divided by 7. It is. Again, the whole point of this is by finding a common factor in groups, I want what's remaining to be the same. That 2 still is out front. I'm just going to do that as a placeholder. Remember that. Remember that because those are the same in the brackets, they combine there. And what we factored out from each group becomes our other bracket. Now I don't need those placeholders in green, but that common factor from the first step, that a value, is still there. So now I factored. So from there, I have x equals negative 36, and x equals positive 7 halves, which is really 3.5. If we are changing the dimensions and increasing, we cannot increase by a negative number. Because of that, we're going to omit or not count. Omit. And the reason that we can say is that x needs to be greater than 0. We cannot increase by a negative number. So that's 3.5. So that means that each side is going to be increased by 3.5 to keep this frame centered. 3.5 added to the bottom, 3.5 added to the top, 3.5 centimeters added to the right, 3.5 centimeters added to the left. Which means our new length and our new width and there's the new dimensions of the frame. .47 centimeters by 32 centimeters. Cool. Now remember, that's increasing by the same amount on each side. That would count if this was a pool and we need to put a walkway around the outside. If it was a garden and we wanted to put a walkway or a path. If we want to increase, but we couldn't actually move this, or we want to keep the center. There's no reason why we couldn't actually take this frame and make one there and one there, so that it was that plus that and that plus that. You would just find then that our x would be 7, and we wouldn't have plus 2 x's. But if we treat it this way, that we're increasing by the same amount each side from the center. It takes care of a lot of other situations. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Get ready for another example on the back.